This is Mint Eyes On, a series produced by Engage for Mint. The series explores the perspective of Mint, a global company specialized in advertising resource management, on the future of the media and advertising landscape. In this third episode, we will explore the future application of Gen AI and advertising automation with Carlo De Matteo, co-founder and chief operating officer at Mint. Welcome to our new episode of Mint Eyes On. Carlo, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, very much a pleasure, and thanks for having me here.
Carlo, let's start with the elephant in the room. The advertising industry has long been characterized by very complex processes involving multiple actors and technologies. Despite the clear need for efficiency, it's still difficult to find a unified platform that can automate all the processes. Why, in your opinion?
The media industry has indeed a very complex process, but it's not a sort of like standardized process. So you have a variety of processes, you have a variety of players in the industry. You have the advertiser, you have the media agency, you have a publisher, you have auditors, so you have it's very multifaceted. And historically, the process is still manual. It was manual. It is very still manual. What happened is that it emerged over time some point solutions to tackle some of the process steps of a gigantic and cumbersome process. And this is actually something very natural when you discover out in an industry how to fix the hurdles of people working with manual processes. And it gets to a certain point in which someone has an intuition, like, let's try to make all the players and, all the processes, within one single unified platform. And this is very much, I guess, a matter of timing. So I think that the industry has evolved technologically so much that at the same time, there is the possibility to develop and to start introducing a technology that really, offer the overall scope of the advertising process into one single solution.
All right, now let's shift our focus on two hot topics of the advertising industry, automation and artificial intelligence. How these two technologies are impacting on the advertising processes?
Well, very much. Although we're very, very at the very, very beginning of the long journey that we have ahead in this field. Perhaps a little bit more advanced in the automation phase.
Okay.
Automation and AI are often put together, but in reality, they're not quite the same thing. Or at least you can have automation without AI. You most likely want to have automation if you have AI. Let me explain this a little bit better. So in advertising, it's been quite a while that you have some sort of automation here and there. Automation use cases are very frequent, like you have automated report, for example, from many companies. So that's not something that surprises anyone. But when it gets to start automating the process, that is where you don't have anyone offering it. Like, how do I automate from my media mix model to my media plan? Doesn't exist. How do I automate my media plan into my buying plan? And so on and so forth. So all those steps that can easily be automated through a software today still live in separate silos and managed by different people. So automation in this field is very much, obviously, it has to be software-led, and because software is the only one that can really automate the process. Now, if we move in the space of AI, then we need to be a little bit more, let's say, academical, if you wish. It's fun to say traditional AI. AI is not something very old, but the typical AI machine learning algorithm that you will find in advertising, which already exists for since a while, they're mainly focused on optimization. So you would want to have a software powered by machine learning, powered by AI, to offer you different scenarios where you can optimize your spend across channel or within the same channel. There are lots of powerful optimizer out there in the industry. Now, what's the last one in AI space? Is the LLM, is the large language model. We always been hearing about ChatGPT, Copilot, etc. And again, here we have two different time. You have the typical natural language conversational tools, and in advertising, these type of tools can really help brands and agency to cut off a lot of work by just simply creating a prompt, asking something, and discovering data and explore the realm of your data set in a nice and intuitive way with charts and pies and etc. Whatever you like. Okay, so that's the conversational one. The most advanced one, which is the one that I like the most, is the concept of a multi-agent or synthetic agents. So you can have agents that, for example, are deployed in a development team. So someone can help you to do front-end development or back-end development or QA. But the same agent can be applied to media. So a team with a media planner and a digital specialist and a trafficker can work alongside a group of agents that will help them to do the job easily and will do the most difficult part, most long time part in a second using the technology of LLM. And this is really the future, and that's where Mint is also looking at that space.
So clearly there are a lot of potential and advantages in using these technologies, but still it looks like companies are kind of struggling in adopting and implementing them. Why is that so?
As you know, when some new technology hit the market, there is a huge hype. Everyone talks, everyone is an expert, everyone has already adopted since day one. It's normal. We expected that. In reality, not many of them really adopted on a daily basis. An adoption curve is, sometimes is quite steep for people who are not used to it. So, but this is just a matter of time. People will start using it, learning how to use it, and will become part of our everyday life job. So having an AI that is applied to data that doesn't match the reality is very much a useless AI. You won't be able to satisfy your needs if you don't have a foundational architecture of data that is consistent with the reality. So that is why companies start adopting tools like that, but in reality, they are not really making a lot of usage of it because they need to go back to the report in Excel and make numbers right. So fix the data first before starting with what you can put on top of your data.
Now, what's the role of Mint in this evolving landscape? What are you doing for addressing these challenges?
Well, first and foremost, our software is a collaborative software that stitch the process of the agency and the clients all together in one single solution. So that's the first answer we give to the market, and that's what we've been doing since the beginning. Furthermore, what we are really focusing on is the concept of data harmonization and taxonomies. We discovered that this is really one of the biggest pain points of any brand. They struggle to make sure that the way in which they work with different data sources and they call things in a different way, and they try to, stitch the logic of the complex ecosystem. Most of the brands have multiple products, multiple brands, different geographies, and that's where they struggle. Taxonomies, not anything else. And that is a strong piece of work that Mint has been really investing a lot of money on. Making sure that you can automate, you can make sure that you can streamline, that you have a high governance on data harmonization and taxonomies. That's definitely something we're being leading, let's say, in the industry with. The last one is the Gen AI. Gen AI is not just a marketing word. It's very much the future. We live in an industry where processes are very much unstructured, and there is a variety of manual work and repetitive tasks that should be reduced to minimum. And this is where AI really comes in. The new investments we have are more in the space of Gen AI and LLM. We are going to launch very soon our Copilot, our Mint Copilot, where you can basically create your prompt ask a question on your data set and have all the answer you are looking for. And in the future, we will be focusing more on creating those multi-agents that really are relevant for our industry, that will help brands and agencies to do the work in a better way.
All right, Carlo, thanks a lot for these useful insights about the future of advertising, and it's been a pleasure to have you in this interview.
My pleasure.